All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the fourth of four virtual events the admissions office is hosting for admitted applicants. Tonight, we are here to talk about the student law experience. My name is Eric Niskern. I'm the Executive Director of Recruitment and Enrollment Initiatives. I'm also joined by our Director of Admissions, Steve Fadouk. He and I will be in the background, making sure we don't forget any of your questions. We also want to remind if you haven't already RSVP'd, tomorrow is our on-campus big event, the Accepted Applicant Community Day. You can still RSVP for that, and I do have the link I will put in the chat. If you want to come and see our campus and meet all of us in person, it's a great opportunity to do that. And I believe the weather is going to be nice right up until the end of the event, and then it's going to rain. So it's perfect timing. So please think about if you're free joining us tomorrow for Community Day. And with that, I am going to turn the program over to our Associate Dean of Student Academic Affairs, Inclusion and Belonging, Dean Joseph Ferris.
Hey, thanks so much, Eric. Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm Dean Ferris. Pleasure to meet you all. Congratulations on your acceptance to Delaware Law School. Excited to um, share a little bit about the law school with you all today. I have several students, student leaders actually, that are joining me to share some of their experiences with the Office of Student Affairs, as well as just their interactions and their experience here at the law school. I'm looking at the boxes. There is a mix of students from organizations and as well as from different class years and divisions. So looking forward to highlight and share them as well. Prior to doing so, there's two slides, maybe three slides that I will like to share, and I will do that now. So once again, I am here on behalf of the Office of Student Affairs. I also help facilitate the inclusion and belonging areas here at the law school as well. But just for the student affairs, we are the hub of support for our students to assist with advice, counseling, or we have several academic advisors that sit in the office, in addition to some academic advisors that are spaced throughout the faculty floors. So our academic advisors are faculty members. There's about four of them that will support and engage with you related to your academics, related to your progress, selecting classes, and so forth. We also act as a liaison between law school administrators and faculty as it relates to needs that you may have, whether it's for accommodations, whether it's for certain type of exam deferrals that may arise based on some scheduling challenges or conflicts that come up, as well as if you just have general questions and answers and you just need to find a place to vet those and to seek support. The Office of Student Affairs is that place. Who's in the office? You'll find me as the associate dean. There's also the academic success program facilitators, which is two professors, Alice Eakin and Marianne Brown. Our bar pass programs are also here as well. And you see at the bottom, Michael Lofts and Brett Bendistis are the director and associate director there. Our staff counselor sits in this office, and then there's some administrative support and coordinator support personnel that help assist me and also just to kind of help things move forward. That is my last slide. I will share the link here. Most of you are familiar with this landing page by now, I presume. But if you go under current students, your perspectives right now, but if you go into current students and click on the Office of Student Affairs landing page, there you'll find information that some I've referenced in that high level. So the academic advisors are provided there. We also have information about accommodations and disability support services. So you can find that information there. Bar Pass program, it's a link to some of our student success approaches that we have, as well as the information for the Bar Pass director and so forth. Some policies for the classes and student organizations. We have our non-discrimination, equal opportunity harassment policy for your reference, and then just some resource support for mental health, student health insurance information, and also information about emergency fund. I will click into the mental health real quick, and there's just a range of information around physical, mental, mindful living, mindfulness, resources about what's outdoors, if you like to connect with nature, and some volunteering type of opportunities as well. Because it takes a mix of things, to really round out the experience. And so things that you were interested in, that you were part of and you were doing prior to coming to law school, those type of opportunities exist here as well. Um, and then at the end is our student handbook, which we update and provide for your reference. And I encourage every one of you, you know, shortly after matriculating, if not before, to make sure to take a look through what's here on the Office of Student Affairs webpage, and also to familiarize yourself with the handbook. Um, Breadth of resources, and it's definitely a resource guide that you will want to reference throughout your time here at the law school as you engage and as you learn and as you continue to move forward in leadership, possibly participating in student organizations, internships, externships, maybe some travel abroad programs. So it's really comprehensive. So please take a look at that. So I'll stop there, and we'll take questions and answers at the end of the session. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to pass the baton to my student leaders that are joining us. And I will start with Deja White, who's our SBA president, who's doing an excellent job. And so I would like for her to introduce herself, tell you all about some of the will tell you about the SBA, Student Bar Association, some of the programs that they offer. And also, Deja, describe your experience, 1L to 3L, and some kind of highlight or takeaway that you have. And Deja, once you're done, if you can just pick the next student and we'll do it that way. Is that cool? All right.
Okay, thank you so much, Dean Ferris. Also, guys, please note this is the first time Dean Ferris said I was doing decent because he's a hard one to please. So thank you, Dean Ferris. But thank you guys so much. My name is Deja White, as Dean Ferris mentioned. I am a third year student here, so I am graduating in 2 months now. So exciting, but also nerve-wracking. And Dean Ferris is actually the Student Bar Association advisor, so I work very close with him. I talk to him just about every day. So everything Dean Ferris already mentioned is true, stands true. I will let you know who I am from the very start of this journey because I think it brings me to the point where I am today and who I am today. So very first thing, I started as a 1L representative for the Black Law Students Association. I've also been the secretary of the Black Law Students Association, vice president and secretary of the Women's Law Caucus, treasurer of 8%, and then I'm also been a student ambassador since my first year of law school. I have been with the Office of Admissions for all 3 years now, which has been one of my favorite jobs. Just getting engaged with the student body, that was my very first take on it, and just really talking to students in and out from all different backgrounds. It's really a great experience in there, and I love being there. I love talking to you all. I will be there tomorrow, so please find me, and I will find you, and I will talk to you. And then now, just to bring it back up, 2L, I had various positions, so vice president, secretary, treasurer, and all of those positions played a part into who I am today, which is now the Student Bar Association president. As the Student Bar Association president, we do have 24 organizations that fall under us. So you will meet some of the student leaders, presidents, and other roles on here today. We do help them run events, facilitate events, whether it's budgeting, planning those events, executing those events. And we work closely with administration for any of your student needs. So anything that comes up that we're supposed to report or finding a better way to have a better experience on Delaware Law campus is the purpose of the Student Bar Association. We do have a place in the Polish Hook lounge, which you'll see, Polish Hook building, which you'll see tomorrow if you take a campus tour. So it's an open space where students come in and out all day if you have any questions, and we're also an open door policy, so you can come in, let us know any of your concerns, or just talk, even if it's like outside of school. We definitely like to facilitate those relationships. This year as well, I'm also a law review staff editor, so I am on that, and I'm also in the Transactional Law Honor Society as well. I believe that is it. I will save the rest for any questions at the end, but I will pass it to the next person I see on my screen, which is Alicia.
All right. Thank you, Deja. Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Alicia Rodriguez. I am a current 2L evening student, evening division. So if anyone here is interested in the part-time program, I'd love to connect. Kind of like Deja said, just life at Delaware Law, it's really great because you will continue to evolve and grow throughout your years. So, my 1L year, just trying to figure out what I was doing, connecting with people. I also served, we kind of like a 1L representative. I served as, we call it, a senator for the Latin American Law Student Association. And then this year, I currently have a role as a board member. So board members for most of the student organizations, they are leadership roles where you, again, like Deja had said, you will help plan, execute, run different events. We have community service events. We have, student events, things also around just mental health and camaraderie, in addition to just overall support. And I would say that that's probably the biggest thing that has been a help here. Every one of these lovely ladies, Jamilin, Deja, Ariana, everybody here has always been, doesn't matter if you're evening or if you're day. I love that it's just everybody's here to help. Whereas a lot of other law schools kind of have a like they're always in competition with each other. And while we do have a little bit of friendly competition, I think that the atmosphere here of everyone helping everyone succeed is definitely been the biggest highlight of so far of my experience here. So I see Miss Jamilin, so I'm gonna pass it to her.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jamilin Morris. I'm a 3L, which means May I am done. Okay, so my journey. When I was a 1L year, I won ADR completely by accident. I had a great partner. We managed to make it to the finals. So that got us into transactional law honor society. So we won our way in. 2L year, I became the president of Women Law Caucus, honestly by accident. As you can see, I've been doing a lot of things by accident here. I've been running it ever since. What else did I do? With 3L year, I founded a club 2L year, and we started fully 3L year. It's called the Criminal Justice League. It's a space for all of us who are interested in criminal law. And that's really what I've been doing. I've been in and out of the Office of Student Affairs since 2L year. I honestly love it. Dean Ferris was one of the first faculty members I've met, and I've been bothering him ever since. I am sorry. I know he's going to miss me when I'm gone because I'm probably his favorite student. Besides that, I've worked hand in hand with many of the students here. I started law school with Deja. She was the first person from my course that I met. Like we met, I don't know what event it was, but we're the first to meet each other, and we've been locked in ever since. I can't believe that I am completing this journey with her. We did WLC together. She was my secretary, my VP. Now she is Miss SBA president. And we just work together. At the end of the day, student leaders, we're all in the same bubble, so you have to work together. You have to create that space where you have to create that community. So WLC is really focused on women, uplifting women, creating a safe space for women. But of course, we're inclusive to all. We have collab with LAWSA, we have collab with BOSSA, we have collab with SBA. We have a professional clothing closet. The Criminal Justice League did a big criminal justice fair our fall semester. LAWSA does a wonderful not public interest, more so, I can't even think of the words, more like big law career fair in the springtime. So you get to experience a lot of different things because a lot of orgs are putting their best foot forward throughout the semester. And I think that's all I got to say. Who do I see? I see Ariana.
Hi everyone, my name is Ariana. I am a 2L regular division student. Similar to Deja and Jamilin, I got really involved immediately starting school. 1L year, I was the 1L rep for the BALSA, which is the Black Law Student Association, and I was the public relations chair for Women's Law Caucus. As I'm currently in my 2L, I am the secretary for the Black Law Students Association. I am the vice president of public relations for the Student Bar Association. I am a law review editor on women on law review. I'm actually now a articles editor on Law Review. And I'm also on the Transactional Law Honor Society. And then I do also work in the Career Development Office with Dee McDonald. She's not present here today, but you will definitely see her a lot on campus because she's going to make sure that you guys get your internships, externships, and are on the right path. Um, my journey. I would say, again, I got really involved at my start. Deja has helped me a lot throughout my career. She is actually my mentor. And so has Dean Ferris. The school, I would say, really helps you succeed in the best way that they can. There was times that I needed assistance, whether it be financial, mental. Dean Ferris really like reached out and made sure that I had everything that I needed to succeed. And I think that's something that you don't experience at a lot of law schools. As Alicia was saying, a lot of schools have that inner competition, and we don't really have that. Everyone wants you to succeed, from the students to the faculty. You can always find like a really strong camaraderie here. And I think that's just something that makes our law school really special. Someone who will have a closer story to tell you about their journey, which would be you guys will be in his position next, is Jelani.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jelani Bryant. I am a 1L here at Delaware Law School. It's a pleasure to speak with you guys. Please forgive me. I understand that I am in my car at the moment. I am outside the doctor's office. And it's a funny story. I'll be able to connect it to Delaware Law School. I love Delaware Law School so much that I got injured at a Delaware Law School event playing pickleball, showing off my pickleball skills. So we're currently in the process of making sure that everything is all right with that. What I can tell you is that the what I can tell you is that the law school community here at Delaware Law School is the most supportive community that you are going to encounter. This is the perfect place for me. I can honestly say that. Like, Delaware Law School was built for me. I came into Delaware Law School already feeling the sense of community that I had when I got here. So it made the transition very, very, very seamless and smooth. Ironically, I serve as Sports and Entertainment Law's 1L representative. So how ironic about that. But I can tell you that I work alongside a variety of different organizations. I'm a member of the BALSA organization. I'm a member of the LALSA organization, as well as I'm highly involved with SBA. I'm considering potentially running for a position this spring, actually. This summer, I will be clerking under Magistrate Wright in the Court of Chancery. I can honestly say, like, the Delaware Law School community, especially Dean Ferris, that's my guy. Whatever he needs, I'm going to be there to do it. There's no questions asked, but you're going to find the support that you need in order to be successful here, and there's no doubts about it. So I am going to be logging off because I do have to get back into the doctor's office, but I will be dropping my email. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I would love to connect with every single one of you. Like, that's what I'm here for.
Jelani, we didn't say you could go.
Dude, I gotta get back in this doctor's office. I gotta get
No,
back in this.
we appreciate you. We appreciate all the students as well. And of course, as Jelani mentioned, if any of you are interested in connecting with him directly, just let us know, even if it's through Eric or Steve, and we can kind of get you connected. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the spotlights, and so I can see all the other boxes as well. And we're going to open up the floor for all of you all to engage, ask questions. What I'd ask you to do, just remove unmute yourself and say who your name is and just kind of whatever your question is, and we'll engage you that way. So the floor is open.
I also forgot to add that I am an academic success fellow and I also did two clinics. So if you have any questions about that as well, please feel free to ask.
And so while we're waiting on engagement, I will say this. So we're meeting with you all right now. And if, before I say what I'm going to say, by a show of hands, how many of you are planning to or trying to attend in person tomorrow? So if you can just show your hand or do your reaction just to kind of give us a sense. Okay. All right, cool. Looks like about half, or if not more than half of you. So I definitely look forward to meeting you all tomorrow as well. I think Deja and a few others had already expressed that. So looking forward to connecting with you tomorrow. Um, so while waiting on you to kind of comment here, right now, the Asian Law Student Association, I think in partnership with two other organizations, are holding a panel discussion with a couple of judges, one of our professors who facilitates clinics and externships, and then another professor is actually moderating the panel, and there's someone from, I think, the Department of Justice and the Third Circuit. So the Third Circuit, which is Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey. Someone that's clerking there. So that's happening right now. And I think there's another event going on as well. So I just highlight that to show that there is a lot of vibrancy on the campus, a lot of dynamic engagement that the students are driving. Like those events that I just mentioned are driven by the student. We have events as well, but a lot of the engagement is facilitated by Deja and Jamilin and Alicia and Ariana, just to kind of give you a sense of it, okay? Is it Katie? Is your hand up?
Yes, hi. Yes, it's Katie. Nice to meet everyone, and thank you for presenting today. So my question was, I was wondering, and I apologize if this was already answered, how we find out about the engagement, like our groups with the school, and how do we get involved? Like, is there like a mass email that goes out, or is it on the Widener portal or something when you first start?
I
Yeah,
can.
so okay, you want to go?
It's up to you, Deja.
I was just going to say that we do have what Student Bar Association hosts what's called Table Day, and that would be within your first 2 weeks of school. And that's where we have all the organizations and honor societies set up their tables and showcase what they have for you for the year. You just come by, you stop by, you can write your name down on the email list. There's no commitment at all. That's just to see their events. Even if you don't sign up that way, you'll still see it, whether it's through your email, posted around the school, or on the TV. So you will see. And you can go to any events. You don't have to identify with the group. You can stop in at any time and just go and support. You don't have to be on the email list. So there will be an event that you'll see everything. And even if you happen to miss that event or just can't go, there will be more opportunities for you to know what else the campus has.
There's also flyers posted around campus when upcoming events are happening. So you'll see those, and then they're also posted on the Instagram for the Student Bar Association Instagram, as well as that specific organization.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Is it Tari? Yeah.
Yes, it's Tyra. You said it right. So my question is, I know y'all, I hear a lot of people kind of expressing about like the support that's at Delaware Law School. I wanted to know if there's like a strong support system for non-traditional students and first generation, first, like I'm the first person in my family to go to law school. Is there like a strong support system for
somebody who doesn't have any knowledge of what's happening. Like I'm just coming in there like with no type of experience.
Before anyone answers, so Alicia, I tapped you to start the response. But hey, Tyreek, who you got with you?
This is my son, Prince.
Hey, Prince.
Hi, Prince.
Hey.
Hi, y'all.
Say hi,
Hi. All right, cool. Okay. So
y'all.
Alicia, passing it to you.
Hi, yes. So, I as well, I'm not only the first person in my family to go to law school, but I'm also the first person to graduate college in my family. So my entire journey has been just trying to figure things out. And I will again reiterate, the biggest thing here at Delaware Law is all you have to do is ask. All I have to do is send an email or you just run into people and say, hey, can you help me with this? I'm a mom, so I have two children. I work full time. And just something to kind of share. I always tell people, you never know what the answer is. The worst somebody can do is say no. So my 1L year, I was very determined on getting a judicial clerkship. I wanted to do a judicial clerkship. And but everyone kept saying, hey, that's a full-time gig. I don't think that's something you can do. Well, I can tell you, I am learned from some of the best, and I'm the queen of cold emails. So I ended up, last summer, I actually clerked in the Superior Court of Pennsylvania for the Honorable Judge Megan Sullivan, absolutely amazing, who was an evening division student herself, and she connected with my story, and she actually let me clerk for her part-time, which was an amazing, amazing experience. So there's also, and I know Deja can talk about it, there's a first gen group here at the law school, and every single month they have happy hour so that you can go and network and meet with other people. And I'm not sure, Dean Ferris, but I don't know the exact number, but there are a lot of first gens here at Delaware Law, and we are all figuring things out together. And we have as well the SBA and oh yeah, he put in the chat 70, yeah, 70-80%. SBA has a couple mentorship programs. So they have mentorships where they pair you up to you if you want to do it, but they're there. They have Widener alums, so that would be attorneys who've graduated. They pair you with upper level students. And then a lot of the student orgs will also offer mentorships. So Deja, I consider Deja a mentor. I run to her all the time. I have a lot of my 3Ls within the organizations, the different student leaders. All you have to do is ask, and that everybody here is so nice. And again, my name is Alicia Rodriguez, so you'll probably see me around. Please, I have no problem sharing my email, and if you have any questions, I would, have no issues kind of helping.
I also wanted to add that I'm also first generation law student, so I had no idea what to do. Like even down to the LSAT, I was just figuring out the process. I didn't even know I had to take an LSAT. So like that's how much I didn't know. The financial aid process, like Grad Plus loans, those were all things that were very foreign to me, and I had absolutely no help doing it. So this is a place where you'll learn that you do have to start asking for things, even though I don't like to ask for help at all. But this is an environment where you should ask for help and you will get the help. So first generation, as Alicia mentioned, we definitely have a strong presence on campus. We all stick together, and there's definitely spaces for you to just learn whatever it is we can learn together, or you're always going to learn something from someone else. So that's really good. I took a 2-year gap period, so I didn't come straight from undergrad. So I also consider that non-traditional in a sense, like not just coming straight from undergrad. I had 2 years of work experience, but no legal work. So I came in completely with no idea what to expect. Some of your classmates and colleagues will come in with some experience, but even me, I just felt like maybe just more setback than anyone else. And that doesn't put you at a disadvantage at all. Honestly, I've learned, and I can say like the people in admissions have also helped me learn this, that the things that make you different are your strengths. So honestly, you being first gen is a little bit stronger than, someone who may have just be doing this because their father and mom and all them that did it as well. So I would say, just ask for help. We'll also drop my email in here as well. Please feel free to reach out about anything, even if it's small questions like how to fill out this form and whatever it may be.
To continue on trend, I was also a non-traditional student. Well, I am a non-traditional student. I didn't come straight out of undergrad. I actually worked as a paralegal for 5 years before coming to law school. Um, I won't say the experience helped me per se, slightly, but you're still, again, like as Asia was saying, you start off on a level playing field as the rest of your peers. You're all relearning how to think because it takes a different kind of thought process to analyze the law, and you're all learning how to read and interpret the law. So everyone, even if somebody may have come in with what they thought was like legal analysis, that goes out the window when you first come. Everyone's a baby at this point, learning the law. And I agree. You can email any of us. We will all put our emails in the chat. But asking faculty questions, you can ask them direct, bold questions. I email Dean Ferris at least like twice a week, asking him a random question like, "Can we do this? Is this possible?" And it's never fully no. It's we'll see what we can do and look into it. And that's the thing that I love about this school. They will actually try to help you find a solution. They do understand a lot of us are first gen. We are figuring out everything on our own. We don't necessarily know what to do, but that's what they're here to help us do. And they have no problem helping us do that.
Thank y'all for answering. That was very informative, and then I feel more confident now. Like,
Yeah. So for Tyree and everyone, I dropped in the chat that as a law student, you must drive your success. And I have seen, students matriculate from their undergrad and some master's programs who are surprised that they have to drive, their trajectory based on some of their experience. Others are very well, experienced in doing that. So I don't want anyone to be surprised. As you were hearing from some of the students here, there are resources, but you have to look them out. You have to pursue them. Um, I'll share this real quick, and then, as I'm talking, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop it in the chat or raise your hand. And also, Deja, Jamilin, Ariana, Alicia, if you hear something that triggers a comment, please jump in. Um, so I matriculated through Delaware Law as well. Tyree, going back to you, I was an evening division student. I don't know who else is on the call that are considering and signing up for and accepted into the ED program. But I matriculated in 2015 and graduated in 2019 and took the Delaware bar. And some of the experiences that the students mentioned, I was on the Delaware Journal. I was one of the Wolcott Fellows, which at the time the school was, there were 5 that were chosen to clerk for a justice in the Delaware Supreme Court. Now there are 10 because of the Court of Chancery. So 5 in the Court of Chancery, which is our business court, and 5 in the Delaware Court, Supreme Court. So I just mentioned that based on something Alicia said as well, which triggered a thought for me during uh, during my 1L year. So I worked during the day, engineer prior, I was an engineer and prior naval officer as well. So I showed up with that kind of background. And while working, I was looking for a synergistic experience while being in law school. So I was looking online, cold calling between the Delaware, Maryland, maybe a little bit New Jersey and Pennsylvania kind of areas. At the time, I was living in Wilmington. I was working in Maryland. Um, and it was about a 45-minute commute, so not too bad to the law school. So I had about maybe an hour and a half range that I was considering when I was doing the cold calling. And, I was getting some interest, but at some point, there was a judge that I met in the gym. actually, I met her husband first. And with meeting her, she's like, hey, you want some experience? Because being the non-traditional, so I worked something out. She was a federal judge in the hmm not the bankruptcy court, but the our district court here in Delaware. She was a district court judge, so I was able to go one day a week on Wednesday and sit in chambers, do some writing assignments, sit in some oral arguments, and so forth. And I had that experience, and one of my writing samples when I was applying for jobs came from that experience. So just when you think about your your responsibilities and how you're showing up to the school, be creative. All right. One thing I want you to take away from this conversation, be creative. There's not a cookie cut model that's in place to limit you from pursuing the things that you're interested in. Even the Woolcott, for example, that is a full-time job. And it has a stipend associated with it, but it's not paid, like a traditional salary. So I was able, because I was road mapping and planning and looking and checking out the website and looking at opportunities and trying to pay attention to what I was interested in. From my first year, I was able to kind of roadmap and set myself up to where my last year, my fourth year, I could leave my job so that I could do the Woolcott and take advantage of that experience. Not everyone can do that, but I was able to position myself because there was some planning involved. So the takeaway here is, look ahead, be creative, try to plan and map things out from the beginning. People aren't going to just hand things to you on a plate in your law school process, but there is support. You just have to kind of show up, ask the questions, be curious, look for the opportunities, and navigate. All right. So, I want you to take away that from today's conversation. Any other comments, Jamilan, Deja, Ariana, Alicia?
I'll piggyback off that because I'll just say again, coming into law school, I remember being on this call when I had first been accepted. And prior to law school, I had been in a position with a very big company for 23 years. So when people are talking about leaving your job and transitioning, to me, it just seemed like something that was out of reach. But again, just like Dean Ferris had said, I have positioned myself and I'm actually taking a full-time summer position this summer at the public defender's office in Wilmington. So as long as you plan and you work things out and you communicate, I was probably the biggest person to be like, oh, that's not going to be me. I can't do that. You can, if you push, you'll be able to get those doors open.
I do want to add something along the line with what Alicia just said and what Dean Ferris was saying about you basically make the path that you take. You're the one who will set where you go. For my wellness summer, Deja and I and my transactional law partner, we went to watch a court case, and that's how we got our internship. We went to watch a court case. The judge was giving us evil eyes because she wanted to know who we were. And we told her, and she's like, oh my gosh, I need interns. That's how we got our internship. I did a externship my entire 2L year. I didn't get it from the school. I got it because I was at my 1L summer internship, and I told the judge how I really wanted to work in a specific DA's office. So she got a DA to take me under their wing, and that's how I got to work there. And even now at the externship I'm at right now, I got it because so when the CJL did its career fair, I called so many offices, like I harassed these offices. And the reason I got my internship is because one of the office I harassed, they came and I talked to them. And the guy was like, hey, apply. That's how I got the internship. So you're gonna have to go out of your way sometimes. Sometimes you're just gonna be in the space. Sometimes you have to network and put yourself in the space to get the position that you want to get to place yourself where you want to be in the future. Because at the end of the day, nobody's going to take you where you want to go but yourself. Your professors can help you, Dean Ferris can help you, admissions can help you. They can give you the tools, but unless you take those tools and build a house, you're not going to have a house, because nobody got time to build your house when they have their own house to build. So that's all I have to say about that.
All right, so it's 6:42. Who else wants to jump in there with a question or comment? We have time.
I'll add something while we wait for more questions. I completely agree with the rest of my peers because I think what I've observed, a lot of what sets apart those who are in leadership positions is that we go out and ask for essentially what we want. Like everyone's saying, everyone got their 1L internship simply by asking and being bold and saying, hey, I kind of want this. And then somebody nearby would say, oh, I'm actually able to help with that. My 1L internship, I'm actually from North Jersey, so I'm closer to New York than Delaware, and I do commute to school. Um, Delaware Law has a lot of amazing opportunities, especially in Delaware, PA, and South Jersey. A little bit harder in North Jersey, but we do have those resources. And the New Jersey courts comes to our school. Diana DiBuccio, she's one of the main clerks. She's in charge of essentially all of New Jersey courts. And when they came to school, I had been offered a position in South Jersey, and I emailed her and I said, you know, I love this position, but I would really like something more in North Jersey. North Jersey. How likely is that we can make that happen? She emailed me the next day with a internship opportunity. Even when I got into the Hudson County Superior Court, um, I was a clerk just in the administrative court, and I said, "Oh, I would love to see, another courtroom." And from just asking that question, one of the women, Honorable Judge Martha Maynor, took me as her judicial clerk. So again, just asking for what you want can take you far, and I think that's what will set you apart, and will set your law journey apart. Is just by asking those bold questions and taking that journey and taking that leap. It's a little scary sometimes, but as Lacey was saying, the worst they can say is no. So once you already accept that no is a possibility, you unlock an entire floodgate of other possibilities.
And then I'll also just add something. So, two things. First, don't think just because we're on here as students, especially for me, I will tell you the truth. Like if you ask me something, I'm going to tell you the truth, whether I work for admissions or whether I don't. And I honestly wouldn't work for admissions if I didn't care about Delaware Law School. I will say in undergrad, I was not active just for the simple fact that I had to put myself through school. So I actually had two jobs. So I was not the student government, wasn't at all the events. I went to school, came home. So this is not in high school. I did do way more, but this is not like I came to law school wanting to be president or all this. I literally just wanted to come to law school and get my education. So these are experiences that I felt spoke to me when I got here. So even if you feel like, oh, I don't want to come in and do all that, you don't have to do all that. And if you come in and it finds you, which it may, that's when you can, step out and do different things. But even if you're like, I don't want to do all the leadership or whatever, you can do other things. And you can also, I forgot to mention, you can create a club. So if there's not something here that you want, you can create it. Like Jamilin said, she founded the Criminal Law Justice League. We didn't have anything for criminal law. So if there's something here that you see we have gaps in, you can create it. You can start that. And whether you start it and have other people run it, whatever it is, like you don't have to be at the forefront and in the limelight all the time to succeed here. So don't think just because we all have leaderships that there aren't other people succeeding who don't have leadership positions as well.
I wanted to jump in real quick. Just Dean Ferris mentioned something in the chat about the Delaware Supreme Court on campus April 1st. The admissions office is sending out an invitation next week to all admitted applicants to join us for that. So if you're interested in hearing the Delaware Supreme Court, they're going to be doing 2 oral arguments. And I believe it's from 10 to 12:30. So keep an eye out. We'll be sending an invitation next week for all of you for that.
Yep. And Eric, just to chime in, I posted a link in the chat. So if anyone wants to get a head start and be the first to register, the link is now live.
The benefits of coming to this event tonight. Thank you, Steve.
And then I also see in the chat there's a question about any offices or programs that offer mentorship. So the Student Bar Association will send out a mentorship program your very first day. So at orientation, the application goes around and you can sign up right then and there. There's also other organizations that have their own mentorship. So whether you want like a Black law, whether it's alumni or current student mentor. There's also other times Dean Ferris, as he's sending in the chat, this is what Dean Ferris does all the time, different resources all the time. So he will send out things if there's like other programs that are offering things maybe outside of the school. There's also programs such as like Philadelphia Bar Association or Delaware Bar Associations. You can get connected with those programs as well. Most of these opportunities are free, so there it's not like you have to pay anything. Some of the bar associations you may have to pay a small fee, but not always. Those are the mentorships that I can think of off the top of my head. I don't know if anyone else has anything to add.
Pretty much all of the orgs, not all of them, but majority of the orgs do have their own mentorship program. So as Asia was saying, the Black Law Students Association has one. LAWSA, which is the Latin American Law Student Association, they have one as well. Women's Law Caucus. A lot of the organizations, especially the affinity groups, have mentorship programs. So you can find people, may resonate more with you as a person, aside from just the legal field, to help you get to where you want to be. And then, as Asia was saying, you can also sign up for the bar associations. I would highly recommend it because for most of them, you do get a free admission with it as a law student. So I'll take advantage of that for your 3 years until you have to pay the $400 it usually is to be a member of a bar association, depending on your state. So I would take advantage of all the free resources that you can while in school.
Let me jump in there. There are a number of resources that are available, particularly for first gen, but for all students that are interested in getting information and preparing yourself for law school. I just dropped in the Access Lex JD Edge, which I think many of you will have included in some of your pre-orientation materials, some aspect of JD Edge. So there's a link there with a number of resources and focus areas. It's really a great resource. So if you haven't heard of it before, now you're hearing about it, and I would encourage you all to kind of check that out. In addition to, there are some books for, first year students, what to expect. I probably have some recommendations. I need to kind of look uh, into that, and I can share that with our admissions folks, and maybe I'll have that in place for tomorrow. But yes, do your research, get familiar before you show up, even in the sense of kind of creating an expectation to try to minimize the surprise, because there is a lot that will come at you that first semester. And the more um, due diligence and the efforts that you've taken in advance, it will really help you, hit the ground running and also be able to absorb the information that you're receiving in real time. Right, I'm checking to see if there's any other questions.
Yeah, I do see something in the chat about first full-time 1L schedule. So I will also talk about this tomorrow on the tours. But your 1L schedule is Monday through Thursday. You guys are lucky because we had a Friday class. They cut it out too well. They cut it out, but we did have a Friday class. So Monday through Thursday, no Friday classes, which is really nice. You usually always start at 10 a.m. So it's not like at 8 a.m. like undergrad, which is really good. And 9 a.m.s usually are very limited, and that's usually for 2Ls and 3Ls, which you would pick that class. So it usually would be a 10 a.m. start. Your classes are like 2 hours for the most part. You do get about a 5 to 10 minute break. And then they usually give you more gaps within your 1L schedule because you're obviously getting used to the process. So maybe like 10 to 11:50 break, and then 2:15 to 4:05 or 4:30. Your latest class, the latest time you get done is 4:35, so you wouldn't go past 4:35 if you're a full-time division. So you'll usually have 2 classes or 3 classes on one of your long days, and that's just because they're accommodating for the Friday that you no longer have, and that's usually like your reading legal methods class. That's once a week anyway. So you'll only have that long day probably for once a week if they change the schedule. I don't know how many hours they say we're supposed to put. If you do y'all know that answer? If it's how many hours you're supposed to put per
Every hour per class, you're supposed to dedicate 2 hours of basically homework or study time. So if you have a 2 hour class, 4 hours, it should take you to, get your readings done and study for that class. So for if you have like 5 classes, that's roughly about 40 hours a week. But don't let that
Yeah.
number scare you. Like it's it seems daunting now, but it goes by extremely fast and you're actively learning and just make it fun. Like that's really all you can do. This law school is what you want to do. This is the way to get there, get through the process, get through the journey. So it's fun, it's doable. You just have to make the best out of everything.
And I will say the 40 hours, it kind of makes sense because you do treat it like a full-time job. So I remember hearing that as soon as we got here, treat it like a full-time job, show up every single day. Dean Ferris put this put the hours in the chat. So yeah, show up like a full-time job, but you will have time to do your fun things. If it's a birthday, those are things that I just don't skip, but you'll just put it into your schedule and know, oh, okay, I have to read this before I can do this. So as long as you have time management, I would say is your biggest skill to come into law school. And if you don't have it now, just start trying to get a hang on it. As long as you have time management, you can do other things outside of law school. And it is important to do other things, even if it's like going to home base, which is the bar across the street that they play out. Even if it's going somewhere that you could just get a break from law school is definitely important. But I will say treat it like a full-time job. And then I don't know if Alicia wants to talk about the ED schedule.
Sorry. Yeah. Sure. So, and I don't know about exactly with regular division, but for evening division, your first 3 semesters are going to be locked in. So class is typically the same. Usually it's Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Class starts at 6:20. You'll have 2 classes per day. There's a break in between. Maybe like Deja said, there might be like 10, 15 minutes in between the classes. And then the second class usually goes from 8:20 to 10:10, which sounds like really crazy, but your body adjusts, you just get used to it. It's not a big deal. This is my first semester where I actually got to make my own schedule. And one thing that I don't know if we've mentioned, the school has what's called open classes, which is really nice. So if there's a day that potentially as an evening student, you might be able to get to campus earlier, it's that window between 4 and 6. So for me, it's really nice that I actually get to get done certain nights at 8 o'clock versus 10. And again, like Deja said, you'll start as you progress forward. There's classes, so you have a little bit more flexibility to choose what you want your schedule to look like. But yeah, the first 3 semesters are pretty much standard. You have those core classes, and I know Dean Ferris, he put in the chat. You really need to dedicate and lock in and put that time. I mean, everybody knows I live in the library on the weekends. If I'm home, I have too much going on with my kids and my family. I need a quiet space, and the libraries are open all day. The student lounge is also open 24 hours a day. So if I want to come really early or stay late one night, I can go to the student lounge, and the security guards are there. They're great. They're really nice. It's all locked. You just use your student ID to get in. And I roll in my big whiteboard in there. Deja, I know you've seen me. I bring in the big whiteboard. We roll in there, and we just grind. And you'll find that your brain is just like any other muscle, and you'll really be able to start to see like, I can do 1 hour reading, I can do 2 hours of reading. And once you start getting to finals prep, and I know my 3Ls are doing bar prep, you'll be doing 8 hours, you know what I mean, a day. And your brain, you'll see how your thinking changes and that stamina builds.
And
Oh, that is awesome advice. Deja, go ahead.
no, just a quick note because I know like sitting for these events can be honestly, it was a little bit more overwhelming for me, like hearing everything 40 hours. I just didn't know if I could do it. And I honestly got very nervous coming into law school. You can do it. Like even like Alicia said, your mind will expand. And I didn't think so. I'm like, how am I gonna know all this and learn all this? It will. If you just put the work in, it really will. So you don't have to come in with anything different. Just come in, be yourself, and honestly, it will all pay off.
Just one quick thing to add. Sorry, Dean Ferris, I need to try to wrap up. But as Alicia and Deja were saying, it's you'll find ways to incorporate studying into your day. I commute 2 hours to and from campus each day. I create podcasts with my notes just so during that drive, I'm still actively studying. So it's amazing what you can come up with when you're dedicated to studying. You'll find ways to incorporate it through anything. I've seen people with their textbooks in the gym on the treadmill, working out and studying. So you'll just naturally find these ways on how can I incorporate something that I know I want to do that's fun for me with something that I can or that I need to do with studying. And that again, the hours go by quick and studying it doesn't feel daunting, I promise.
I have something to add. I am terrible at studying the regular law school way. Like, my brain is just like, no, it doesn't work. So, what I have to do is I go through my outline, I create fill in the blanks, I create multiple choice questions. Like, I have to create things that my mind has to work to do, because if I'm just reading my outline, my 90 plus page outline, nothing's getting in here. So like you have to break it down bit by I have to break it down bit by bit. So what you want to do is when you get here, you need to find what works best for you. Some people love flashcards. I am not a flashcard person. It's too tedious for me. I don't have time to write over 100 flashcards. But some people love it. Some people are outlined. Some people are going to write everything out on the board. You have to find where it works best for you. And if your brain is anything like mine, try to get the rules and fill in the blanks with the rules so you can memorize the rules and certain things like that. It's really going to help you out. I think I'm going to answer Layla's question. He said, do you see a disadvantage from kindergarten to JD? So you just like came straight out of undergrad and you're in JD. That is wonderful. I think it will be a little bit easier for you because you didn't take a break. I took a nice little one year gap, and let me tell you, waking up for a 10 a.m. class, even though it was 10 a.m., was really hard because I was working night shifts when I was on my gap. But I think it'll be easier for you because you're coming out of school, you're going into school, you have that momentum. So you're already going, you're already going to be able to handle the workload. It might be a little bit different and a little bit more of a tedious work, but I think you're going to get of a great grasp of your flow. Like you're gonna be able to catch your flow a little bit quicker than some people who have been out of school for a while. I'm also gonna add that when you come to law school, your assignment is a little bit different. So instead of weekly discussion boards, you're kind of doing more so reading, right? You're reading, you're outlining whatever you read, you're finding the facts, the disposition, and all this extra stuff. It's a little bit it's a lot, but it's a little bit less than having to do a discussion board post for every single class and then do a response. This time you're just like reading and hoping if you get cold called that you understand the case, or hoping that you don't get cold called because you don't understand the case. So I think you're actually going to do very well, and you have a leg up over some of us that took a break because our brain has to get back into school mode and your brain is already in school mode.
So we will stop there. Thanks, Jamilin, for that. So I have dropped my email in the chat as well as the link to the Office of Student Affairs. And there is a lot more information that we could share as far as experience and so forth. But, many of you we'll see tomorrow, and we can kind of keep that conversation going. And I look forward to seeing you all. Thanks for the engagement to all the students who joined to share their experience. Thank you for participating. To all of you accepted applicants, again, congratulations. Welcome to Delaware Law School. We really look forward to welcoming you, seeing you here, and engaging, working, learning from you, all of that. With that being said, Eric, Steve, I'll give you the final word.
I think that's a great way to end it. We'll just say goodnight. And again, if you haven't RSVP'd for tomorrow, there's still time. I will drop the link in again. So if you can make it, it's a great opportunity to meet all of us in person. But thank you all for coming, and keep in touch if we can be of any assistance to you.